Leo stepped onto the metal floor of the alien space station, his boots making a soft echo in the vast corridor. The station hovered silently above a distant blue planet, its surface glowing faintly under the alien sun. To humans, the station was enormous and intimidating. Towering walls of dark metal stretched endlessly, and alien lights blinked in strange patterns, casting shifting shadows on the floors and ceilings. He took a deep breath. His heart beat faster, not from fear but from excitement. Humans had been invited here as part of a rare interstellar meeting. Most species in this sector considered humans weak. They were slow, clumsy, and their technology was primitive compared to the great alien empires. But Leo knew something they did not. Humans were clever. They could find ways where others saw none. Ahead, the corridor opened into a large chamber. At its center, a platform floated a few meters above the floor. Standing proudly on that platform was Zara. She was an alien officer, tall, with shimmering skin that shifted color slightly with her emotions. Her eyes glowed faintly, and her movements were fast, precise, and confident. She looked at Leo with a smile that was both mocking and challenging. "You're too slow," Zara said, her voice calm but cutting. "I wonder how a human thinks it can match us." Leo stayed silent. He did not need to reply. Words were not what mattered here. Actions were. Zara gestured to a cluster of hovering warships behind her. They were sleek, black, and bristling with technology that humans had never seen in full operation. Lights ran along their hulls like rivers of energy, and each one seemed alive, humming quietly with power. "Watch carefully," Zara said. With a flick of her hand, she activated one of the ships. Its control panel lit up, displaying complex holographic codes and symbols in rapid motion. Within seconds, Zara's fingers moved over a floating interface. Lines of code melted and shifted under her touch. In less than 10 seconds, she had completed a full sequence, and the warship responded instantly. The alien onlookers around her clapped lightly, impressed by her speed. Leo watched carefully, noting patterns in her movements. The aliens worked with logic and repetition. Every gesture had a reason. Every symbol followed strict rules. But humans had a different approach. They could improvise, adapt, and find hidden shortcuts that others would never see. "You will try next," Zara said, pointing at Leo. Her glow flickered slightly, a subtle hint of her surprise at seeing a human so calm in her presence. The room hushed. Aliens and humans alike turned their attention to Leo. Some aliens whispered to each other, shaking their heads. "A human? Hacking our warships?" "Impossible," Leo stepped forward. His hands were steady. His mind raced, analyzing the alien systems. He saw the repeating patterns in their code, the tiny sequences that changed every few milliseconds. To anyone else, it looked impossible. To Leo, it was a puzzle. "Remember," Zara said, smirking, "you have no more than 12 seconds per ship. If you fail, you embarrass your species." Leo nodded slightly. He didn't answer. There was no need. He had a plan. The first warship hovered closer. Its interface glowed brightly, showing hundreds of lines of shifting code. Alien symbols twisted and turned faster than Leo's eyes could normally follow. But he did not panic. Instead, he focused on the logic behind the chaos. Patterns emerged, small gaps in the encryption, repeated sequences the aliens had overlooked. He reached out. His fingers moved quickly, but not with the same rhythm as Zara's. Humans had a different style. He did not follow the expected paths. Instead, he traced hidden connections in the code, lines that the aliens had ignored. Slowly, the warship system began to respond. Zara's eyes widened slightly. She had not expected a human to understand the system so quickly. Her smile faltered for the first time, though she tried to hide it. In under 12 seconds, the first warship's control panel stabilized. Lights on the ship shifted from a threatening red to a calm blue. The room gasped. Aliens whispered in disbelief. Leo moved to the second ship. The pattern was similar, but the encryption had minor variations. Most aliens would have needed more time to adjust. But Leo used the same principle. Find the overlooked connections and exploit them carefully. Again, he worked with speed, but also with creativity. His hands flew over the interface, selecting paths the aliens would never consider. Within seconds, the second ship responded. Another whisper of astonishment rippled through the crowd. By the third ship, some aliens were leaning forward, watching intently. Zara's eyes were narrowed now. She had underestimated humans, but she was proud too. She had not expected a human to perform even one hack successfully. Now Leo was showing something extraordinary. The third warship's controls were complex, with multiple layers of encryption designed to confuse even the most advanced alien minds. Leo paused for a fraction of a second, thinking. Then he did something the aliens never expected. He bypassed the visible code entirely, finding a hidden backdoor left in the system during its creation. The ship responded immediately. Zara stepped back slightly, her glow brightening with surprise and admiration. Impressive, she admitted, though her voice was still sharp. But 9 more to go, Leo did not reply. He moved from ship to ship, each time using a combination of speed, logic, and improvisation. He hacked them one by one, each in under 12 seconds while Zara watched, her earlier arrogance fading with every successful attempt. Around them the room was silent, except for the faint hum of the ships and the rapid movement of Leo's fingers. Aliens who had doubted humans were now whispering excitedly to each other. Some even began taking notes, curious about the humans' method. By the 6th ship, Zara realized the truth. Humans were not slow. They were unpredictable. Their minds worked differently, seeing solutions where others saw only problems. She felt a mix of frustration and respect. Leo was teaching her something she had never known. Speed alone was not enough. Creativity mattered, intuition mattered, and humans had both in abundance. Leo's eyes scanned the 7th ship. Its code was designed to shift randomly, making it impossible for most beings to track. But Leo noticed a subtle rhythm in the randomness, a heartbeat hidden inside the chaos. He synchronized with it, and the ship system began to respond. The room erupted into quiet applause. Aliens were stunned. Humans had never done anything like this before, at least not openly. Leo moved to the 8th ship and then finally the 9th. Each time he worked faster yet more precise. The final ship resisted at first, its encryption shifting faster than the others. But Leo did not panic. He studied the patterns, made a calculated move, and the ship responded instantly. In total, 9 alien warships had been hacked in under 12 seconds each. The crowd was silent for a moment, then erupted into astonished murmurs. Zara stood frozen, her usual confidence replaced by awe. For the first time, she felt something she had never experienced before. Humility. Leo stepped back. His breathing was steady, his hands calm. He had not rushed. He had not panicked. He had used human ingenuity, intuition, and creativity to accomplish what aliens thought impossible. Zara finally spoke. I did not expect this, she said, her voice quieter now. A human, hacking our systems. And so quickly? Leo gave a small smile. Humans find ways, he said simply. Around them, aliens whispered among themselves. Some nodded in respect. Some were still shocked. But all agreed on one thing. Humans were not to be underestimated. Zara looked at Leo again, her smirk returning, though it was softer now. Perhaps I judged too quickly, she admitted. Perhaps there is more to your species than I realized. Leo shrugged slightly. Speed is not everything, he said. Sometimes thinking differently matters more. Zara nodded slowly. She had learned a valuable lesson. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and capable of surprising even the most advanced alien minds. And Leo had proven it in the most visible way possible. 9 warships hacked in record time. The human delegation watched with quiet pride. Leo had shown them that even in a universe filled with powerful beings, humans had a unique strength, the ability to think differently, to improvise, and to adapt where others could not. As the room slowly emptied, Leo walked past Zara. She met his eyes and gave a small nod, the first sign of respect she had ever shown a human. Next time, she said quietly, I will watch more carefully. Leo smiled faintly. I will be ready. And with that, the challenge was over. For now. But in the minds of everyone present, one thought remained clear. Humans were not slow. They were unpredictable. They were clever, and they had only just begun to show their potential. The room had quieted after Leo's astonishing display. Even the most confident aliens could not hide their surprise. 9 warships hacked in under 12 seconds each was something they had never seen. Humans were supposed to be slow, weak, and predictable, yet here stood Leo, calm and steady, proving that assumptions could be wrong. Zara paced across the platform, her glowing skin shifting shades of blue and purple with her emotions. She could not fully hide her astonishment, though she tried to regain her composure. "You were fast," she admitted, her voice tinged with both pride and frustration. "But that was only the beginning. What you did was impressive, but it was simple compared to the challenge ahead." Leo raised an eyebrow, curious. He had prepared for the test, but he did not expect it to escalate further. "What is the next step?" he asked calmly. Zara motioned to a row of alien warships stationed farther along the platform. These ships were larger, more advanced, and heavily fortified. "Those are our primary command vessels," she explained. "They are protected by multi-layered security protocols, encryption that changes every millisecond, and artificial intelligence designed to block any unauthorized access. Even I would need careful preparation to control just one of them. You will attempt 3. A murmur of disbelief rippled through the assembled aliens. Humans attempting even one command vessel was audacious. 3 seemed impossible. Leo studied the ships, analyzing the glowing codes streaming across their control interfaces. He did not flinch. Humans had a different way of thinking. While the aliens relied on repetition and precision, humans could improvise, adapt, and see solutions where others only saw barriers. He focused on the patterns in the code, noting how the encryption repeated certain sequences subtly, leaving tiny, almost invisible gaps. The first command vessel hovered closer. Its security system was active, layers of encryption glowing like shifting stars in the holographic interface. Leo could see why most species would give up before even trying. But he was not most species. He reached out with his hands, touching the holographic controls. His mind raced. Every movement had to be precise yet flexible. He used a method the aliens had never seen. Not brute speed, but careful synchronization with the natural patterns hidden within the encryption. His fingers moved faster than most eyes could track, but each step was calculated. Zara watched, astonished. She had seen many species attempt hacks. Most failed instantly. None had ever succeeded under such pressure, let alone a human. She realized that Leo was not just fast. He was clever. He was unpredictable. The first vessel's lights shifted from a threatening red to a soft blue. Its AI had accepted Leo's access. A quiet cheer came from some of the humans observing from the platform's side. Leo stepped back, breathing steadily. 1 down, 2 to go. The second vessel was even more complicated. Its interface was layered with changing codes, each designed to adapt to interference. Most beings would have slowed under the pressure. Leo did not. He noticed a rhythm in the shifting symbols, a hidden pulse that suggested where the weak points were. He followed it, bypassing traps that would have locked out any ordinary hacker. Within seconds, the second command vessel responded to his access. Lights changed and systems powered down in sequence as Leo stabilized the control. The aliens in the room were silent, their jaws almost dropping. Zara's glow shifted, now showing both admiration and unease. She had underestimated humans. She realized speed alone was not the measure of strength. Intuition and creativity mattered as much, if not more. The third command vessel hovered forward. Its encryption was the most complex Leo had ever seen. Lines of code danced faster than the eye could follow, changing direction unpredictably. Even the most experienced alien hackers would have struggled to adapt. Leo paused for a brief moment, taking in the patterns. He did not panic. He did not rush. Instead, he observed. A small gap appeared in the code, almost invisible, repeating for just a fraction of a second. Leo focused his attention there. Timing was critical. One wrong move and he would be locked out for hours. With precise movements, he synchronized his actions with the vessel's code pulse. Slowly, the AI began to respond. The ship's lights shifted from red to green, its systems opening under Leo's guidance. In less than 12 seconds, he had full control. The room erupted. Alien observers gasped, whispered, and even clapped in astonishment. Humans had never been expected to achieve anything like this. Yet here was Leo standing calm, having completed an impossible task. Zara's voice was quiet but firm. "I underestimated you," she said, a hint of humility in her tone. "You see patterns we cannot. You find gaps we overlook. Perhaps humans are not slow, they are different, unpredictable." Leo nodded slightly. "Sometimes different is enough," he said. "Speed alone is not everything. Thinking differently matters more. Zara studied him. She had spent her life mastering speed, precision, and logic. Yet she realized that Leo had something she had not considered: creativity combined with calm focus. Humans could improvise. Humans could adapt. Humans could see what others did not. The crowd of aliens began to discuss Leo's actions quietly. Some were impressed, some were confused. Yet all agreed on one truth: humans were not to be underestimated. After a moment, Zara stepped closer to Leo. "You have proven something extraordinary," she said. "But this is only the beginning. There are systems beyond these ships, stations, defense networks, even planetary shields that are far more advanced. If a human like you can handle command vessels, what else might you accomplish?" Leo looked at the rows of warships behind her, his mind already racing with possibilities. "Humans adapt," he said simply. "We find solutions where others see none." The aliens were silent for a moment, absorbing his words. Leo's confidence was quiet, but it radiated strength. He had not rushed. He had not panicked. He had used human ingenuity to complete the impossible. Zara finally spoke again, this time with a smile that was both proud and cautious. "You may have earned respect today," she said, "but there are others who will challenge you. Not all will accept a human as clever or capable. Some will see your success as a threat." Leo did not flinch. He had expected challenges. Humans rarely succeeded without opposition. He simply nodded, ready for whatever came next. The assembly moved to a different section of the platform. Here, massive holographic maps of the sector displayed fleets, defense systems, and communication networks. The next challenge awaited: hacking into multiple systems at once, coordinating operations across ships, stations, and planetary grids. Leo studied the maps. His mind raced, analyzing connections, weak points, and the flow of information. Where aliens saw complexity, he saw patterns. Where they saw rigid protocols, he saw opportunities to adapt. Zara watched him, her expression unreadable. She had learned one important lesson: humans were unpredictable. They could do things no algorithm or speed-based system could anticipate. Leo had shown her that. "Your species has potential," she said quietly, almost to herself. Potential we did not believe existed. Leo looked at her, understanding the weight of her words. Respect was not given freely among her people. To earn it, one had to prove strength, skill, and cleverness. He had done that today. As the sun of the distant planet glimmered outside the station's windows, casting soft light over the metallic floors, Leo felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. Humans were often underestimated, yet here he was, standing among beings who thought they were superior. He had shown them that assumptions could be wrong, and this was only the beginning. The next phase of the challenge would test him even further. Coordination, multitasking, and rapid adaptation were required for what lay ahead, but Leo was ready. Humans survived by adapting, improvising, and finding solutions where others saw only obstacles. He had done it before, and he would do it again. Zara glanced at him, a faint smile touching her features. She knew that this human was different. Perhaps he could even teach her something. For the first time, she wondered if humans might not just survive among aliens, they might excel. The room was quiet, filled with anticipation. Aliens whispered about the human who had outsmarted them. Some expressed doubt, others admiration. One thing was certain: Leo had changed their perception forever, and for Leo it was a reminder. Being underestimated was a human advantage. It allowed him to think without pressure, to innovate without expectation, and to accomplish what others thought impossible. The next challenge awaited, and the stakes were higher. But Leo was calm, ready, and confident. The human way was unpredictable, clever, and resilient. And in a universe that valued speed, power, and precision, Leo had shown that creativity and calm focus could be even stronger. The chamber of the alien station was vast, larger than any human building Leo had ever seen. Holographic displays floated in the air, showing fleets of ships, energy grids, and interstellar communication lines. Each system was connected to another, forming a web so complex that most species relied on automated AI to manage it. Humans were never expected to navigate such complexity, let alone manipulate it. Zara stood near Leo, observing him closely. Her glow shifted from blue to soft purple as she watched the human with a mixture of curiosity and respect. "The next challenge," she said, "is not just about speed. You must coordinate multiple systems at once. Every mistake could alert the station's defense AI, which could lock you out permanently. Leo nodded. He did not feel fear. Humans had always relied on creativity and adaptation to survive. Where others relied on sheer power or speed, humans could improvise, think outside the expected path, and find solutions no one else could see. "Begin," Zara said, stepping back. Immediately, Leo's eyes scanned the holographic displays. 9 alien warships, 3 command vessels, and 2 defense satellites were linked to a central station. Each system had shifting codes, firewalls, and AI monitors. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming, but Leo did not panic. He focused on patterns, small repeated sequences, and subtle gaps the aliens had overlooked. The first task was the warships. Each ship's code had multiple layers of encryption that shifted constantly. Humans rarely attempted such systems, believing them impossible. But Leo approached it differently. Instead of brute force or trying to mimic alien techniques, he looked for shortcuts, hidden pathways, and redundancies in the code. He started with the first ship. His hands moved quickly, not with the same rhythm as the aliens, but with a style of his own. He traced connections, bypassing unnecessary loops and hitting precise points in the system's structure. Within seconds, the first ship responded, its lights shifting from red to calm blue. Zara's eyes widened. "I did not expect that," she whispered. Her pride was mixed with astonishment. She had thought humans were slow, predictable, and weak in technical skill. But here was Leo, proving all assumptions wrong. The second ship was more difficult. Its AI monitored multiple channels, each designed to trap intruders. Most beings would have slowed, overwhelmed by the complexity. Leo, however, stayed calm. He noticed a subtle rhythm in the shifting codes, a tiny heartbeat hidden within the layers of encryption. Following that rhythm, he bypassed the traps and accessed the system. Lights shifted and the ship's systems came under his control. Around him, aliens whispered in disbelief. Some were fascinated. Others were confused, unable to understand how a human could succeed where many of their species had failed. Leo did not pause. He moved to the third ship, then the fourth, applying the same technique. Observation, improvisation, and human ingenuity. By the fifth ship, the central AI of the station had noticed unusual activity. Holographic warnings flashed across the displays, signaling that an unauthorized user had gained access. Most beings would have panicked at this point. Humans, however, thrived under pressure. Leo adjusted quickly, masking his digital footprint and continuing the process without delay. The sixth ship was heavily fortified, designed to resist multiple hacking attempts simultaneously. Leo approached it calmly. Instead of following the expected paths, he found a hidden back door embedded during the ship's construction, a detail the aliens had overlooked. It was small, almost invisible, but it allowed him to bypass the primary encryption. Within seconds, the ship was under his control. Zara's pride shifted into full awe. "Incredible," she muttered. "No human should be able to do this. Yet here you are, controlling multiple ships at once." Leo glanced at her briefly but stayed focused. The 7th and 8th ships were connected to the defense satellites which monitored the entire sector. If the satellites detected interference, the station could launch countermeasures. Leo understood this. He coordinated carefully, syncing his actions with the natural timing of the satellite's scanning cycles. He moved with precision, each action calculated yet flexible. The 7th ship responded first, then the 8th. The satellites adjusted to his control seamlessly, allowing him to manage multiple systems simultaneously. The room was silent except for the soft hum of the ships. Aliens leaned forward, their glowing eyes fixed on Leo's hands as they danced across the holographic controls. Some whispered, unable to comprehend how a human could manipulate such complex systems so quickly. Others nodded in admiration, realizing that humans had a form of intelligence they could not fully measure, creative, intuitive, and adaptive. Finally, the central station remained. Its codes were the most complex of all, layered with encryption that changed randomly every millisecond. The AI monitored every input, ready to block any unauthorized access instantly. Most species would have given up immediately. Humans were never expected to even attempt it. Leo studied the interface carefully. He did not rush. Instead, he observed the patterns. small sequences that repeated subtly and variations that suggested weaknesses. His mind worked like a puzzle solver, seeing connections that others could not. He reached out, tracing lines of code with precision and confidence. His hands moved faster than most could follow, yet each movement was deliberate. He bypassed traps, avoided alerts, and found hidden pathways within the system. Slowly, the central station's AI began to respond, acknowledging his access. The room erupted in astonishment. Aliens gasped, whispered, and even clapped in disbelief. Humans had never been expected to accomplish this. Leo had not only hacked multiple warships, but also coordinated entire networks, including defense satellites and the central station itself. Zara stood frozen for a moment, her pride mixed with admiration. "I underestimated humans," she said quietly. "Not speed, not power, but creativity and intuition. These are your strengths." "I should have realized it sooner." Leo looked at her calmly. "Humans adapt," he said. "We see what others miss and find solutions where none seem possible." Zara nodded slowly. She had spent her life mastering speed, precision, and logic, yet she realized that Leo had something she had not considered, a different way of thinking. A way that combined focus, improvisation, and intuition. The alien assembly whispered among themselves. Some aliens were fascinated, some confused, and some worried. One truth became clear to everyone: humans were not to be underestimated. Leo stepped back, his breathing steady. He had coordinated 9 warships, 3 command vessels, 2 defense satellites, and the central station. All systems were functioning under his control seamlessly. The impossible had been achieved. Zara finally spoke again, a faint smile on her face. "You have done what no one thought possible," she said. "Your species may be small and slow by our standards, but your mind is extraordinary." Leo nodded slightly, understanding the significance of her words. Humans had often been dismissed in interstellar affairs. They were underestimated, mocked, and ignored. Yet here he stood, proving that intelligence, creativity, and calm focus could accomplish what others deemed impossible. Around him, aliens observed quietly, their earlier arrogance replaced by respect. Some even approached, asking questions about his methods. Leo explained simply: observe, analyze, improvise, and adapt. Where others relied on speed or strength alone, humans relied on thinking differently. Zara studied him carefully. She had learned a valuable lesson. Humans were unpredictable. They could see what others could not, find solutions where none seemed to exist, and adapt to challenges faster than any algorithm or AI could anticipate. "You may have changed the way our species sees humans," she said softly. "We thought you weak, slow, and predictable. Now we see something different. Something extraordinary." Leo smiled faintly. "Sometimes being underestimated is an advantage," he said. "It allows us to think freely without pressure and find solutions no one expects." The room was silent, filled with a new sense of respect. Humans had earned it not through speed, not through power, but through ingenuity and cleverness. Zara stepped forward, extending a hand in a gesture of acknowledgement. "Perhaps there is much we can learn from each other," she said. Leo shook her hand firmly. "Humans are always ready to learn," he replied. The assembly slowly dispersed, each alien processing what they had witnessed. The challenge had been completed, but its impact would last far longer. Humans were no longer seen as weak. They were clever, adaptive, and capable of surprising even the most advanced species. As Leo walked away, he felt a quiet sense of pride. Humans had survived and thrived for countless generations, often in harsh conditions. That same resilience and ingenuity had allowed him to succeed today. And this was only the beginning. The chamber was quiet now, the hum of the alien systems echoing softly through the metal walls. Leo stood in the center, observing the 9 warships, 3 command vessels, and defense satellites he had brought under control. The glow of holographic displays reflected on his face as he analyzed the next steps. His human mind thrived on challenges, and this moment was no exception. Zara approached him, her glow softening to a steady purple. "You have surpassed all expectations," she said quietly. "Even I did not believe a human could coordinate so many systems at once." Leo shook his head slightly. "I just found what others overlooked," he said simply. "Every system has a pattern. You just have to see it differently." The alien assembly watched him in stunned silence. Some whispered among themselves. Some leaned forward, their glowing eyes fixed on the human who had just done what no one thought possible. The idea that a human could manipulate their most advanced systems was becoming real, and no one could ignore it. "Now," Zara said, her voice firm but calm, "you face a test that will truly prove your skill." Leo raised an eyebrow. "Another test?" "Yes," she replied. "The station's central warship network is integrated with planetary defense grids. If a threat were detected, the AI would respond instantly. Your task is to coordinate all 9 warships, 3 command vessels, and the defense satellites to simulate a full fleet operation, without triggering alerts." Leo's lips curved into a small smile. Humans thrived on creativity and improvisation. This would be more than speed. It would require strategy, timing, and precise execution. He was ready. The first step was the warships. Each ship needed to move in a coordinated pattern, matching the holographic fleet displayed in the central map. Leo adjusted each system, watching the lights shift from red to green as he gained full control. The warships responded immediately, moving as though guided by an invisible hand. Zara watched closely, her expression unreadable. She had expected a human to struggle, to fail. Instead, Leo moved with calm precision, orchestrating systems the aliens thought impossible to manipulate. The command vessels were next. Each had its own AI monitoring internal systems and external communications. Leo synchronized his actions carefully. He noticed tiny redundancies and overlooked loops within the code, small gaps the aliens had never thought to seal. Exploiting these, he brought each command vessel under his control, moving them in harmony with the warships. The defense satellites were more complex. They monitored vast regions of space, scanning for threats, analyzing movement, and protecting the sector from attack. Leo studied the patterns of their scanning cycles. Timing was critical. A misstep would trigger an alert, potentially locking him out. He synchronized his actions with the satellite's natural rhythms. Slowly, they began to respond to his guidance. Lights shifted, signals changed, and the AI recognized him as a trusted operator. Within moments, the entire fleet, warships, command vessels, and satellites, was moving in a coordinated, flawless operation. The room erupted in astonishment. Aliens gasped. Some whispered excitedly, others stared in disbelief. Humans had never been expected to achieve such coordination. And yet here was Leo, orchestrating a complex operation with calm focus and creativity. Zara finally spoke, her voice tinged with pride. "You have done it. You have coordinated systems no human or alien should have been able to manage." Leo nodded.
"It's not about strength or speed," he said.
"It's about understanding the system, seeing patterns, and finding solutions others miss." Zara studied him carefully. She had always believed speed and precision were the ultimate measures of skill. Now she realized something new. Intelligence, creativity, and calm focus could surpass even the most advanced technology. The assembly of aliens began to discuss what they had witnessed. Many admitted they had misjudged humans entirely. Some whispered about the potential of working with humans rather than against them. Others marveled at the unique combination of intuition and skill that Leo displayed. Zara stepped forward again. "I underestimated your species," she said. "But now I see. Humans are unpredictable, clever, resourceful. Perhaps we can learn from you just as you have adapted to our technology." Leo's expression remained calm. He had not sought recognition. He simply acted with focus and strategy, as humans always did when faced with challenges. "Learning goes both ways," he said. "Humans have adapted for generations. We survive by thinking differently." The aliens nodded slowly, some still whispering among themselves. Leo's success had changed their perception of humans forever. They were no longer weak, slow, or predictable. They were clever, adaptable, and capable of extraordinary feats. Zara walked closer to the final control panel. "There is one more test," she said, her voice quiet but serious. "It is not just about systems or speed. It is about leadership and strategy. Can a human guide an entire fleet in simulated battle conditions without error?" Leo looked at the display. A holographic simulation of an enemy fleet appeared, moving toward the station. Warships, command vessels, and satellites all had to respond instantly and work together flawlessly. The challenge was immense, but Leo did not hesitate. Humans thrived under challenges, especially when thinking creatively was required. He analyzed the enemy patterns. Unlike the aliens who relied on repetition and logic, Leo considered multiple possibilities at once. He anticipated movements, adjusted fleet positions, and optimized defensive and offensive strategies simultaneously. The ships responded perfectly, moving in coordinated formations, evading simulated attacks, and countering the enemy fleet with precise timing. Light shifted across the displays as the fleet executed maneuvers with flawless synchronization. The aliens watched, astonished. No one had expected a human to perform with such skill and precision. Some began taking notes, fascinated by Leo's methods. Others whispered about the potential consequences if humans were underestimated in real interstellar conflicts. Zara's glow brightened with admiration. She had spent her life training to master speed, strategy, and logic. Yet she realized that Leo's approach, calm focus, creativity, and intuition, surpassed even her own experience. The simulation ended. The enemy fleet had been neutralized without a single error. The room was silent for a moment, then erupted into applause and murmurs of astonishment. Humans had not just hacked alien systems. They had coordinated fleets, defense networks, and simulated battles flawlessly. Zara approached Leo, her expression a mix of pride and humility. "I cannot deny it any longer," she said. "You have proven humans are not to be underestimated. Cleverness, adaptability, and creativity. These are strengths we cannot ignore." Leo nodded slightly. "We survive because we think differently," he said. "Strength alone is not enough. Speed alone is not enough. Understanding, adaptability, and courage matter more." The assembly of aliens nodded. Many had learned a valuable lesson that day. Humans were not weak. They were not predictable. They could accomplish extraordinary feats combining intuition, creativity, and calm focus in ways others could not. Zara extended her hand to Leo. "You have earned respect," she said quietly. "Not just from me, but from all who witnessed this. Perhaps humans are the future partners we did not expect to have." Leo shook her hand firmly, understanding the significance. Humans had long been underestimated, yet here they stood, demonstrating that thinking differently could overcome even the most advanced technology. The crowd slowly dispersed, each alien processing what had happened. Some whispered about the potential of working with humans. Others marveled at the skill and ingenuity they had witnessed. One thing was certain: humans would never be underestimated again. Leo walked past the ships, observing them calmly. Each vessel responded smoothly to his commands, a testament to the power of human ingenuity. He had not sought recognition or reward. He had simply adapted, improvised, and succeeded where others believed failure was inevitable. Zara watched him go, reflecting on what she had learned. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and resourceful. They had a form of intelligence that could not be measured by speed or brute force alone. She realized that working with humans could open possibilities the aliens had never imagined. Leo paused at the chamber exit, taking a deep breath. Humans had survived and thrived through countless challenges, often in harsh and unpredictable conditions. That same resilience had allowed him to succeed here, proving that the human mind could overcome even the most complex alien systems. As the alien sun cast soft light through the station's windows, Leo knew one thing: this was only the beginning. The galaxy was full of challenges, but humans had a unique advantage. Their creativity, adaptability, and intuition made them unpredictable, clever, and formidable. And in a universe that valued speed, power, and technology above all, Leo had proven that human ingenuity could surpass even the most advanced alien systems. Zara's voice called him softly. "You have changed how we see your species," she said. "Today, humans are not just participants in the galaxy. They are respected, admired, and perhaps even essential." Leo nodded, his calm smile reflecting quiet confidence. "Humans always find a way," he said. The room fell silent again, filled with respect and admiration. Humans had earned it, not through strength, not through speed, but through thinking differently. Leo had shown them that, and the impact would last far beyond this day. The alien assembly hall was alive with quiet excitement. Aliens from different species whispered and moved, discussing the human who had done what no one expected. 9 warships, 3 command vessels, defense satellites, and the central station, all had been coordinated flawlessly by a human named Leo. Zara stood at the front, observing him closely. Her glow shifted softly, a mix of admiration and pride. "Today," she said, addressing the assembly. We witnessed something extraordinary. A human accomplished feats that even our best strategists could not imagine. We misjudged them. We assumed humans were slow, weak, and predictable. But this human has shown us the truth. The crowd of aliens fell silent, letting her words sink in. Even those who had doubted humans now exchanged looks of surprise and respect. Humans were not just participants in this galaxy. They were clever, adaptable, and formidable. Leo remained calm. He had expected some recognition, but he did not act for praise. Humans survived by thinking differently, by seeing solutions where others saw none. His success today was not about ego. It was about showing what human ingenuity could achieve. After a moment, Zara stepped closer to him. Leo, she said softly, your actions have changed the way we see your species. We no longer see humans as weak or slow. We see intelligence, adaptability, and courage. Perhaps we have underestimated you for too long. Leo nodded slightly. Humans have always found ways to survive, he said. And sometimes that means finding solutions no one expects. The aliens watched in quiet awe as he spoke. Many had never seen a human so composed, confident, and capable. They realized that humans had a unique ability to adapt, improvise, and succeed in situations that seemed impossible. Because of your actions, Zara continued, we are opening new opportunities. Humans will be included in strategic discussions, in joint operations, and in technological exchanges. Your species has potential we cannot ignore. Leo's eyes widened slightly, though he did not show it fully. Recognition was not what he had come for, but this was a meaningful moment. Humans had long been underestimated, and now they were being invited to participate on equal terms in interstellar affairs. Zara glanced around at the assembly. I hope this serves as a lesson to all of us. Strength alone does not guarantee success. Speed alone does not guarantee victory. Intelligence, creativity, and adaptability are just as important, perhaps more so. And today a human has demonstrated that better than any of us could have imagined. The assembly murmured their agreement. Aliens who had once doubted humans now showed admiration. Some approached Leo cautiously, asking questions about his methods, hoping to understand how a human could achieve such remarkable feats. Leo explained simply, observe, understand, and adapt. Look for patterns others miss. Be calm under pressure and think differently. That is how humans succeed. Zara studied him carefully. Your species is unpredictable, she said. You see things differently, and that is a strength we cannot ignore. Perhaps humans are the future partners we did not expect. Leo smiled faintly. Humans have always adapted, he said. And we are ready to learn, just as we are ready to teach. The assembly slowly began to disperse, many aliens still whispering about what they had witnessed. Leo walked calmly among the ships he had coordinated. Each vessel responded smoothly to his presence, a testament to his skill. It was not just speed or strength that had brought success. It was his ability to think, analyze, and adapt. Zara followed him quietly. I want to learn from you, she said. Not just about technology, but about thinking differently. Humans approach problems in ways we cannot predict. I want to understand that. Leo glanced at her. Then you will need to observe, practice, and experiment, he said. It is not enough to watch. Understanding comes from trying and adapting. She nodded. I will, she said. Perhaps we can work together in the future, humans and aliens combining strengths. As they walked through the chamber, a message came through the central station's communication system. It was from the Alien Council, congratulating Leo and the human delegation for their success. They praised the humans' ingenuity and recognized the value of including humans in strategic planning. Leo read the message calmly. Humans had rarely been included in interstellar councils. Often underestimated, they had been ignored or dismissed. Today, that had changed. Today, humans were being recognized for their intelligence and creativity. Looks like humans have a seat at the table now, Zara said quietly, smiling. Leo nodded. We have to prove ourselves continuously, he said. But this is a good start. The aliens began to treat the human delegation differently. They asked questions, shared knowledge, and even sought advice on strategies. Leo's calm approach, combined with human ingenuity, had earned respect that no words alone could have achieved. Zara stayed close to him. I think your species will surprise us even more in the future, she said. I underestimated you before, but now, I see potential I did not expect, Leo smiled faintly. Underestimating humans is a mistake, he said. We are small, we are few, but we survive by thinking differently. That has always been our strength. The day ended with a ceremony honoring Leo's accomplishments. Zara stood beside him as the assembly recognized the humans' achievements. Aliens clapped, nodded, and expressed admiration. Humans had earned respect not through brute force or speed, but through intellect, creativity, and calm focus under pressure. After the ceremony, Leo walked through the station, observing the ships and systems. He thought about the humans back on Earth and how often they had been underestimated. Yet, through ingenuity and adaptation, humans had survived and thrived. Today was proof that the same qualities could succeed anywhere in the galaxy. Zara joined him quietly. You have changed the way we see humans, she said. Today you earned respect not just for yourself but for your entire species, Leo nodded. Humans have always adapted. Today we showed it in front of everyone, but there is more to do. We have to keep proving ourselves, keep showing our potential. She smiled. I look forward to learning more from you, she said. And perhaps humans can teach us things we have never considered before. The human delegation left the station that day with a new sense of pride. Humans had been underestimated for generations, yet here they were, recognized as clever, adaptable, and capable of remarkable feats. Leo had proven that assumptions could be wrong, and that thinking differently could overcome the most complex challenges. The galaxy was vast and full of challenges, but humans had shown they could meet them. Through ingenuity, creativity, and calm focus, they could succeed where others failed. Leo's actions had changed perceptions, earned respect, and opened doors that humans had rarely expected to find. As the delegation prepared to return to their ship, Zara spoke once more. Humans are unpredictable, clever, and adaptable. That is a combination we have rarely seen. Your species has potential beyond what we imagined. Leo looked at her calmly. We will continue to adapt, he said. That is what humans do, and when the time comes, we will find solutions no one else expects. The ship departed the station, leaving behind the impressed alien assembly. The humans had earned a place in interstellar affairs not through might or speed, but through ingenuity and clever thinking. Zara watched the ship leave, her glow calm and steady. She had learned a lesson she would not forget. Humans were not weak, slow, or predictable. They were a species of thinkers, adapters, and problem-solvers capable of achieving the extraordinary. Leo, aboard the ship, looked out at the stars. The galaxy was wide, full of unknown challenges, but humans had shown they could meet them. Their ability to think differently, to adapt, and to find solutions no one else saw was their greatest strength. And in the universe, that strength would ensure that humans were never underestimated again.